Now, Indian economy ended this year on a bang, viewers, surpassing Japan to become the fourth largest. India's economy is now valued at $4.2 trillion, ahead of Japan. And this in a year which was marked by huge trade uncertainties, Trump's continued tariff tantrums and volatility regarding oil purchases. The government's now next target is to reach $7.3 trillion by 2030 and overtake Germany. Now, this is quite achievable. In fact, it's not ambitious at all, because the aspirational goal, viewers, is actually $10 trillion by 2030. And this was voiced by several policymakers as well in the past. The World Bank has projected that the Indian growth will be about 6.5% this year, the highest in the world. But a middle income status that India is aspiring for is not about a single high growth year. It's about a decade of the same and then more of that. Now, how do we get there? Rising incomes, expanding urban consumption and improving rural purchasing power has essentially been the backbone of growth for India, and that needs to continue. And India's ascent has been steady. Overtaking Japan, viewers, is a symbolic, significant shift in global economic pecking order. But from here on, the reform express needs to be on full throttle. For domestic consumption to remain high, job creation has to be done on a sustained basis. The gig economy in India is celebrated, rightfully so. It's a huge boost, but it can be only a valuable addition to a healthy job creation pipeline. It cannot replicate it, it cannot replace it. And for that, a simple funda needs to be followed. Invested infrastructure, manufacturing and logistics, the third big piece. Breaking into the top three economies requires an aspiration to integrate into the global supply chain. And that's the biggest factor that is required. And one needs to keep in mind that on one end, India competes for cutting-edge technology, and on the other end, it competes with Vietnam for cheaper labor. And integrating these two extremes is essentially what our economic policy is going to be. The fact that Vietnam has replaced China as the largest producer of sneakers should remind us that more work needs to be done, and one needn't ignore the amount of economic activity that is there in terms of cheap labor. And that's where our task is cut out for our policymakers. India's ascent is there, but for us, the trajectory that lies ahead will be dictated by policies.